to them.
Even though the odds are just so insurmountable, anyone who tries to speak out against these conditions is fired. They're in, some of them are in danger for their lives, depending on what they're doing. And people are still doing it. I mean, what they're facing down here is so much tougher than what we're facing. And obviously the most important thing we can give them hope is to work in the U.S. and to actually support their campaigns and make sure that things actually change.
The students and the National Labor Committee, human rights and labor leaders from several Central American countries to discuss how to best confront the problems in the sweatshops and ensure that workers are treated fairly and paid a just wage. The delegation learned that the problems are the same across the region. In Guatemala, where every attempt to organize in the maquila has been crushed, the minimum wage is 36 cents an hour. In Honduras, 43 cents. And in Nicaragua, 23 cents.
In these assembly factories, at least 80% of the workers are women, and 50% are single mothers. This puts the women in even a more vicious trap, because their families are dependent upon them if they lose their job, if they get denied the overtime. If they're ever fired and blacklisted, they're in real trouble because there's no savings, there's no safety net, there's no unemployment insurance.
When
you are pregnant, what they do is give you more work. They force you to do even more work than you are supposed to. If you don't, then they start treating you badly, telling you that you are a coward. Even though I was pregnant, I often had to work at 5 in the morning. I was 7 months pregnant and I had to work all night. And 3 times a week I stayed until 10 at night. There they would give you a motel room in order to sleep, but they would put 4 or 5 people in each room. And in each room there was only one bed, so I thought it was better to go back home. We talked about them giving us some kind of transportation to bring us home, because the area we had to go through is very dangerous. There was a which the people of Dual 3 had to work until 10 at night, and the next morning a girl was found dead. She had to work until late at night and didn't want to go to the motel and preferred to go home.
The delegation met another worker named Daisy, who invited them to spend the day with her. Daisy's house was a 40-minute walk to the main road, where she could pick up a flatbed truck to ride the rest of the way to the factory. To get to work by 7 a.m., she had to get up in the morning at 4:30. Daisy was beaten and fired when she returned from her maternity leave. She was told it was because she was having too many children. At that point, she had been working at the factory for 5 years. Among the labels she worked on was Gildan, which produces T-shirts for the University of Kentucky and other schools. When they visited Daisy, both of her children were sick and medicine was far beyond her reach.
I entered and went to the station where I worked, and I put down my bag and against the 2 machines. Suddenly I felt a blow to my head with a pistol. I tried to get up and the pistol fell to the ground. She grabbed me by the hair really hard and my head was dizzy from the blow. They fired me and I've been working there for years, and it's not right that they would not even give me my severance pay. And now I'm on the outside and the guards continue to harass me, saying that if I don't keep quiet, she will hire someone to kill me. Well, now my job is making candy. I leave here early in the morning to sell it over there at the factory to all the workers.
The delegation tried to get into a factory in the free trade zone where Daisy worked, but they were thrown out within minutes.
Permítame, porque nosotros queremos consultar esto. O sea, no pueden entrar cámaras, tenemos que pedir una autorización.
It said we had notified them.
Each refusal, each time the delegation was not allowed to see the conditions firsthand, reinforced their understanding of the need for full public disclosure of factory locations and truly independent monitoring.
The whole system of globalization and of contracting, which is creating all these maquilas and these free trade zones, is to, as much as possible, keep the stuff locked behind these gates, behind these armed guards, behind the barbed wire, and to not let that get out.
They met with workers from a factory. Claiborne clothes are made. The workers, who were afraid to be identified, explained the problem with the current monitoring system.
A commission from Liz Claiborne came to the factory and spoke to workers, 8 people all at one time, and asked them how they were treating us. Mistreatment, if they screamed at us, if they were pressuring us, and they all said no. Because there in the office, in front of the Korean managers, the people could not say anything.